Macroeconomics is a branch of economics that studies the behavior of the aggregated. The variables that macroeconomics usually studies are savings, investment, national income, consumption, inflation, and exchange rate. Macroeconomic policy is the one that affects a country or a region as a whole. Macroeconomics has two types of policy: monetary policy, which involves policies that affect bank lending, interest rates, and financial capital markets, and fiscal policy, which involves government spending taxes and is determined by the nation's legislative body. In Mexico, we have two main branches: institutions and organs. The institution in charge of monetary policy in Mexico is Banco de Mexico, that is in charge of keeping down the inflation rate, improve the infrastructure, and of the development of the country. It's also in charge of managing the markets program. The organs are the federal government, and through la Secretaría de Hacienda y Crédito Público, actively works in the definition and implementation of fiscal policies that balances the government spending and income programs. How does it work? Fiscal policy efforts to broaden the taxpayer base and make the tax collection system more efficient. Mexico has been constantly increasing its tax revenues and reducing its dependence on oil revenues in recent years. The more significant macroeconomic indicators in Mexico that assess its progress and stability are GDP, general government balance, general government gross debt, inflation rate, and current account. This process of Mexican economy has been a phenomenon of great importance. From being an economy of the most closed, it became one of the most open, which made Mexico one of the main exporting and importing countries of the system internationally. And it shows important implications for economic, political, and social organizations. What are some historical events we should know about? This started with the dictatorship of Porfirio Diaz. Then it passed to the economic consequences of the Mexican Revolution, and it ended with the presidency of Lázaro Cárdenas. But after the Great Depression, it started to rise the economic stability in the 70s and 80s. Some years after these events, the North American Free Trade Agreement, or also NAFTA, was signed, and since then, Mexico's growth hasn't stopped. As I said before, Mexico has a more open trade system, and with this, we're making our trades with more countries and we're making it bigger, although we can improve that. Some ideologies that may affect the Mexican economic model are that the rich are richer and the poor are poorer, because the richer people can get power with the money in every aspect in the society, like in the government, and they could give money for the government to change some laws so that suits them. But the poor can't. They have to make a bigger effort, and most of them don't make it. The Mexican economic model impacts on the human rights simply because we live here in Mexico. If the government makes a decision, either good or bad, we will be affected. If Mexico grows, we have better job opportunities, more money, and more products. We grow because the governors are making rules or trades that benefit Mexico. We think the way Mexico goes is because we all make it that way. Although Mexico is a country with a high level of macroeconomics, there are always factors that can work to make it rise. Macroeconomics is based on indicators. That is, it can rise as long as Mexico seeks innovations and the best negotiation deals to import and export products. Avoid an increase in inflation, since if prices go up, the objective macroeconomic will fail, and finally, the level of unemployment must remain low. With these factors, macroeconomics in Mexico will improve its high level as it is in these years.